Romulan D Warbird. This is BlueBrixx Star Trek set 104573. It was released in July 2022 for about €30. This construction block set consists of 510 pieces, which are compatible to bricks by other building blocks companies like Lego, Kobe, Mega, and so on. This set has been sold out for quite a while now, but until a few weeks ago it was no problem to buy the set in used condition for about €30. Sadly, in the meantime, the rumors proved to be true that BlueBrixx couldn't renew their Star Trek license. And yeah, because of this, we will not get a new production batch of the set, or better said, of any BlueBrixx Star Trek sets, which means that the prices for used Star Trek sets skyrocketed. If you want to get this set nowadays in used condition, you have to pay at least €90. When I heard that BlueBrixx had lost their license, I was quite sure that that Mattel reacquired the Star Trek license. They had that license before BlueBrixx had it, and I thought, yeah, this simply means that now we are going to see more Mega Star Trek sets. But no, actually the behemoth of the building blocks market has acquired the Star Trek license, the Lego company. At least this is what very believable rumors in the scene say. I'm quite sure that we are not going to see the vast lineup of Star Trek sets which BlueBrixx gave us. Lego will give us fewer sets, but according to the rumors, we are going to see at least an Enterprise D, including minifigures of the main characters. We will have to wait and see if the Enterprise D by Lego can challenge the BlueBrixx Enterprise D. I guess the Lego one will have less details. But what I'm really looking forward to is that we are getting Lego minifigures. There were also BlueBrixx Star Trek minifigures, and I know that there is a fan base for those minifigures, but I really don't like the BlueBrixx minifigures. At least for my eyes, they look really ugly. And yeah, those minifigures were only available for just a few days. At least the Star Trek minifigures. The other minifigures, it's no problem to get them, but the Star Trek minifigures really were only available for a few days. And today they are sold for ludicrous prices on second-hand marketplaces like eBay. You can buy those minifigures for hundreds of euros, and I don't know. I think that's just insanity for those ugly minifigures. But if you like the looks of those minifigures, then go for them. I don't want to make those minifigures bad. I just don't like them personally. What I prefer that are Lego minifigures with custom prints. As you can see, it's always a bit difficult with those custom prints. Have a look here at the feet. There we can really see that the prints are not comparable with the prints the Lego company does. So I'm really looking forward to official Lego prints. But let's get back to our set here. As you can see, I don't have a sealed box. I got this set in used condition. And yeah, normally BlueBrixx Pro sets come with colorful boxes, unlike the special sets. But since I don't have the box, I can't show it to you. But I have the instructions, and because of that, you can imagine how the box would have looked like. The front cover of the instructions is identical with the front cover of the box, and the back cover of the instructions is identical with the back cover of the box. So on the front we can see the completed build without stand, but we can see the stand on the back side. Here we really get to see the completed build, the ship including its stand. Another thing about a used set is that it doesn't come with the numbered bags which contain the bricks. So the set here normally does come with 2 building sections to which the bricks are pre-sorted, but since my set is used, the bricks aren't any longer pre-sorted to those 2 building sections. They just come in one big bag. But I don't think that this is a problem, because you can see here the brick count is only 510 pieces, and this means that we don't really need pre-sorted pieces. We should be able to find each brick at each building step in just a tiny amount of time. Well, I'm going to open now this bag here, and then I will start with step 1-1. I will come back to you as soon as I see something interesting or something simply doesn't work as shown in the instructions. Step 1-12. In this step we are using these hollow studs here, these single-only studs, to reverse the stud direction of our build, to reverse the building direction. And this is a technique that BlueBrixx uses quite often in their sets, but we don't get to see this kind of technique in LEGO sets. This is a used set, so I have a problem now. You can see that as a tool for placing these hollow studs, we need this blue bar here. With the help of that blue bar, we can place the hollow studs inside the negative studs of other pieces. So we can turn negative studs into positive studs. But this piece here is missing. Luckily, we got another piece which we can use. We got the same bar also in olive green. This piece here, I'm quite sure, will later be a part of our build, but hopefully we don't have to use these single studs after we have placed the bar, which means for now we can use the bar here, and I don't have to look for another bar in my collection. Alright, then now it's time to place those pieces. I put it down there, and then I use my fingernail to keep the stud down while I release the tool. I do the same with the second single stud, like this. And now we have reversed the building direction. Now it's no problem to place other pieces on the underside of that brick just like this. Step 1-22. At the moment we are building these transparent pillars here, which are part of the stand. They are that part on which the ship itself later will sit on. And we have built 2 of those pillars. And while building those pillars, we have to pay attention that we don't cover this lower part here of the wide axle, because later we will stick it in there, I guess. That brick wasn't interlocked, now it's interlocked. And yeah, to know how long this little piece here has to be, we have this image here. You can see it's in scale 1:1, which means while building this pillar, we just hold the pieces on top of that little image, and then we can see how long the part of the wide axle has to be, which still sticks out once we have assembled the whole pillar. And I hope I did everything correctly. Yes, I did. Step 1-24. BlueBrixx hired Xingbao to manufacture the set, and this means that the set comes, of course, with Xingbao bricks. And this means that, we got pieces which work totally fine, there's no problem with the clutch power, but they really aren't the best pieces on the market. What annoys me most about these pieces are the huge injection holes. Have a look here, those are crater-like holes. Those are not injection points, those are really injection holes which are really visible. You can't hide them. I hope that once we have completed our build, that most of the studs will be covered. And yeah, it's predominantly a problem of the studs, those injection holes. But as you can see, the completed build also contains a lot of visible studs. The injection holes aren't visible here on the cover of our instructions because this is only a computer-rendered image. But once we have completed the build, our visible studs will come with those injection holes. That's more than slightly uncool. Well, Xingbao might not produce the best pieces, but what they normally do really good is printing on tiles or printing on bricks in general. And as you can see here, for example, we got once again a lot of printed pieces, and those prints are totally fine. Those are perfect quality. Xingbao normally does or have a better printing quality than Lego does. Have a look here, they even managed to print on the sides of those plates here. That's really cool. And so far, I really couldn't complain about any BlueBrixx set with Xingbao prints. But this time I have to, because have a look here at this plaque. The plaque itself is totally fine, but have a look here at the print. It wasn't printed perfectly on this huge tile here. Have a look here, it sits, or it is printed on the tile on a slight angle. Have a look at the gap between the S and the upper rim of the tile. The gap here between the S and the upper rim is bigger than the gap between the K and the rim. It's not a big difference, but nevertheless it is visible. And of course here on the lower side we have the opposite problem. So the gap between the rim and the T is smaller than the gap between the rim and the R, or the point, the dot. Well, I think this won't be too big of a problem. It isn't too noticeable, but nevertheless, it's annoying. Okay, with step 1-24 we have completed the stand, and now it's time to start with the Warbird. Step 1-54. We have completed the first building section. We have built the stand, and I think the lower part of the Warbird. Now it's time for the second building section. Step 2-40. At the moment we have these two bigger parts of the Warbird, and now it's time to marry them, to turn them into one single part. Like this. Step 2-42. When you buy the set new, the printed pieces, or at least some of them, are still attached to black plates from which you have to remove them and then place them on the build. These black plates are not needed for the build. According to the instructions, they are even supposed to be thrown away, which I wouldn't do. I would put them through the rest of my collection. But because this is a used set, it does not come with these black plates. So yeah, all the printed pieces come loose, as you can see here. BlueBrixx puts them on those plates, or better said, Xingbao does this, so that they can print several tiles in one single go. And yeah, when these pieces are already attached to a plate, you can place a way better print on them, because when you print all the single pieces individually, then the print wouldn't align perfectly. But when they are already assembled, yeah, then you can put one single print on them, one big print, and take the pieces apart again later. But the print will be perfectly aligned. Step 2-50. This is this build's final step, and as you can see, the only thing we have to do is to interlock the stand with the ship. I tried to do this, but you really have to pay attention while doing so. When I pushed too hard, several pieces of the build just, popped off. And now I will have to repair the whole build. I hope that the damage isn't too big. Luckily, the damage wasn't too severe. Within a few minutes I could repair this Romulan battlecruiser. So, with completing step 2-50, we have completed the whole build. And let's have a look at our Romulan warship. I think it looks really cool. So far we have built other BlueBrixx Star Trek ships in this size. This is a mid-scale set. And we also have built the huge display models. So the only size which we haven't built are the models in mini scale, but I'm not going to do this. I prefer the mid-size and display size ships. I don't know too much about Romulan warships, and I don't know much about warbirds, but let's see what we can find here. So, I think it's immediately recognizable as a Warbird. The shape is hit perfectly by the BlueBrixx designers. They really did a cool job here. Just like a typical Warbird, there is a lot of empty space inside the ship, so the whole structure is built around empty space. That's just typical for Warbird. And we get to see a lot of details which are realized with prints. So you can see here that we get to see all those windows here, all the lights. This is really cool. And here in the front we get to see the emblem of the Romulan Empire, I think. And I'm not quite sure what this is. Is this the bridge? It would be quite huge. I don't know. And I guess this here in the front, this open stat, is supposed to be this anti-shield technique or what they ever there have. It looks quite cool. Here are the engines. I'm not quite sure. I think Romulans don't use warp engines. They have their anti-space technology or whatever it's called, anti-gravity. No, I don't know. I can't really remember. But yeah, you can see that they don't come in these blue warp colors like we always see the Starfleet ships with. Here the color of the engines is greenish, yellowish, translucent stuff. This is really cool. The stand of the ship is also made in the shape of the Romulan insignia, or better said, the insignias are attached to the stand. This time here in gray. Here in the front it was white. No, it's also in gray. Yeah, that's quite cool. And then we got also the plaque with some information about the ship attached to the stand. I have to say that the plaque isn't really placed in a very fortunate way. It's hard to see because it's almost entirely covered by the ship. We have to go down here and you can see the shadows down there are very intense. So let me try some more light. And here we can see that, the plaque doesn't contain much information. We only get to see the name of the ship. And yeah, we get to see in which Star Trek series this ship appeared. Or, well, at least BlueBrixx decided that this is part of the next generation sets, And below a kind of blueprint of the ship, we get to see the length of the ship. It's more than a kilometer in length. Well, I like the ship. It looks quite cool, and I had much fun to build it. But I have to say, it isn't too sturdy. Once you have attached everything, it's quite sturdy, but I wouldn't try to detach it from its stand, to be honest. You can do it, but as you saw, attaching it might be problematic. You might, destroy your ship. As I said before, the plaque here is not positioned in a very intelligent way. I'm not quite sure if this is extremely sturdy. Well, everything just stays in place. It's a display set, so it isn't meant to be played with. But I think this lack of sturdiness might be a problem for beginners. So it isn't really a set for experienced builders, but I wouldn't take this set to be the first set that I built when I have never built a building block set before. I don't like really that we got the emblem on the stand. This gives just too much attention to the stand. I always prefer when the stands are barely visible, so a plain black stand would have been absolutely sufficient, at least for my taste. I also think that the inside of the engines here, if you want to call it like this, look a bit strange with these very visible 1x2 plates in this translucent color. Well, but all in all, I really liked the build. I had fun building it, and let's be honest, it looks cool. It's a Romulan warship. I would have preferred this build in as a display-sized model, but at least we got a warship or a Warbird at all. Sadly, the bricks we used for this set or for this build are just not of the best quality. They did work totally fine. The bricks themselves are not a problem for the stability of the build, but we get to see too many of those ugly injection holes here on these dots. That's just ugly. Maybe you have to replace those pieces with pieces by BlueBrixx or by Lego. But nevertheless, I'm happy that I got my Warbird here, and it will find a place on my shelf next to all the other BlueBrixx Star Trek sets.